Today on Community Cooking, we have guest chef Oscar Gonzalez cooking up a hearty meal perfect for any holiday. Pork chops filled with cranberry stuffing plus roasted acorn squash served with a side of risotto parmesan. We're cooking with some of the best chefs from right here in our own community. So grab a seat, get comfortable. We got another great meal coming at you. This is your Community Cooking. Hello and welcome to Community Cooking. I am your host, Kirk Leins. In our kitchen today is Chef Oscar Gonzalez from Lisa's Bon Appetit from right here in Torrance. How are you, Chef?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for being here.
Very excited to be here.
And you know, I was looking over your menu, and this is a very sort of like a very year-round friendly menu.
Yeah, of course.
But I think it also is very holiday appropriate, right?
Yeah, it can be for special occasions or everyday dinner.
Right. So we're starting off with the pork chop that you're going to stuff with a cranberry stuffing, correct?
Yeah.
Can you take us through the ingredients?
Yeah, we have parsley here, the cranberry, sage, olive oil, butter, which we're actually using ghee, cream, and then our chicken stock.
Okay. Now, before we go any further, for those unfamiliar, ghee is basically just clarified butter. Now, I imagine you clarified this yourself, correct?
Yeah, of course.
And it's really not hard. You're just skimming off the milk fats. But you can actually buy pre-made ghee.
Of course.
And if you go to ethnic markets, it's much cheaper than buying it in the regular market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you make it, it's cheaper.
And the reason, why are you using both? Talk to us about that.
Well, so the smoking point gets higher, and we still get that butter flavor. And the smoking point means we don't want it to get to trans fats. That's pretty much why.
Okay, so right, the milk solids are what burn and what turn brown, and that's what creates trans fats when that happens. So you're removing that, making it a little healthier.
Yeah.
Beautiful, great. So where do we start cooking-wise?
So what we're gonna start to do is actually chop our onion.
Okay.
And because we already have our butter melted. So we're gonna turn this on.
Yeah, it's good to get that going. Sometimes it takes a while for the pan to.
Yeah.
And this is the classic technique for chopping onions, right? But this is a classically trained chef. I should mention that you actually, well, you went to both you went to Escoffier.
Yes.
And you also have taught at Culinary Institute, correct?
Of America, yeah.
And you actually have a PhD in food science.
I do.
And I think that may be a first. I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't recall ever having anyone in our kitchen who's had a PhD. That's pretty awesome.
Well, we can do a lot of things, and now in Lisa's Bon Appetit, we have been doing a lot of high-end meals for a lot of people, and it's been great.
By high-end, what do you mean? Like just...
Like 8 to 11 courses meal, and we pair it with wine and everything, and people are loving it. We do it from 25 people to 1,000 people.
Throw in a little molecular gastronomy.
Molecular gastronomy.
Excellent,
for sure.
Excellent. Okay. And so we've got... Did that in like, what, 15 seconds? Beautiful, beautiful mince on that onion there. What's next?
So we have this. Now that we have that, we're going to just kind of rough chop this too, a little bit.
You know what I like about this here is that the stuffing recipe, this is all stuff that you would have kind of in your, either in your cupboard or your refrigerator anyway.
Yeah.
There's nothing crazy here.
No.
Everything sort of lives forever.
Yeah.
Now, you've got bread here, I've noticed. Do you need me to start on
cube that up.
Cube it up.
That would be great.
You are using stale bread, which is highly important for this. Otherwise...
We can just use a little bit, maybe half of it.
Half of that?
Yeah, that's good.
All right. It's almost like French toast. You need old bread, or else it gets to be mush. Right. So we're combining both. We get the nice flavors of butter and olive oil.
Yeah, and we don't get that problem with the smoking point.
Right.
So that's good.
So you mean to tell me now that every time someone makes something that's with brown butter, there's trans fats in that, right?
When it gets to the smoking point and the smoke is coming all the time.
Okay, so it has to be sort of really smoking.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's when it gets to the smoking point.
Gotcha. All right. Bread is cubed, and what I'm going to do is I'm Just put that anywhere, Kirk.
I'm just caramelizing this.
Yeah, you got to get those going a little bit. They're not going to, they'll be a little too crunchy in that stuffing, correct?
Yeah. That's why we need that. Plus, with the butter and the oil, you will get all of the flavors from the celery and the onion in there. So that's a great thing to have.
It smells great already. There's nothing
So
like...
then,
oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
when we have this already, I would say it's ready now. When you start seeing that it's kind of transparent,
okay,
that's when you get it. And then you can add everything else. So you add your cranberries.
All right.
You add your parsley. And then your sage.
And that sage is what really gives it that wonderful sort of holiday fall flavor, right?
Yeah, and the smell. The smell of that is great.
And see, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to make a case here that we need to cook with sage throughout the year a little bit more.
Of course.
Right? I mean, it's something that I think a lot of people, when they use it, it's just for holiday time. You're stuffing on Thanksgiving or what have you, but it's really a lovely herb.
Yeah. Now I added my chicken stock. As you can see, the chicken stock is really clear, not cloudy. That means when you do it, that's when you get those kind of things. And you use the bones and you use everything.
And you got all the collagen that's in there.
Yeah.
And, right, exactly.
Yeah, that's kind of what you need
so
to do.
you can use either a homemade chicken stock or a canned chicken stock for this.
You can. Okay. As long as it's good quality, yes, you can.
Right. And lower sodium probably too, right?
Yeah.
Because as it reduces...
We're already putting a lot of things here that are going to help you with that sodium. Like the cranberries are going to help you a lot.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And I noticed you did not season the aromatics.
Not yet.
Okay.
So the thing is, I wanted to, since I already have salt in here, I just don't want it to get too salty. So that's why I leave it like that at first, and then at the end is when I season it.
Because as this reduces, it only gets saltier.
Saltier.
Right.
And
okay.
then you can oversalt things really easy.
Yeah.
And that's not something that you want. So now that it's kind of halfway, we would just add our breadcrumbs.
That I've expertly cubed for you.
Perfect. And then this will soak up everything in there.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And so no egg in this, huh?
No. We're trying to do most of the things that you're going to see today are healthy. And we're trying to get everything like that. So whenever you order something from us, you just get the best things with the best ingredients all the time.
So this is something that you do serve on Lisa's Bon Appetit?
Actually, when you order something from us and it's a full-serve event, we can do pretty much everything. You can just sit with me and we can come up with a menu just for you.
Well, I got to tell you, I took a look at the website.
Yeah.
It's impressive. I really like the website a lot. And you lead quite a big team.
Yeah, it's a big team, that's for sure. So then I will add a little bit of the cream.
Nice. That smells so good.
Yeah.
That sage is really coming off that pan right now.
Yeah, the sage is really great. And all of this aromatics will just help you.
And that cream just brought it together so nicely, too.
Yeah. So now we just put it here, and still, if you see no salt, no pepper.
Not yet.
Because I'm going to put them there, and then we're going to see how much we need.
Got you. Okay.
All right? So we're just going to take this out. And since we're also looking after our water, we don't want to get a drought anymore.
Right. Wow.
We're just going to use the same one. Plus, it's less washing, right?
That's true. That's the part I like the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you see here, you actually get some of the pork loin and some of the tenderloin, which are different.
Yes.
This is the tenderloin and this is the pork loin.
Right.
So we actually get both of them here.
That's nice. Yeah, that's really nice because it's a two totally different textures, and this is a little bit more intensely flavored. This is a little cleaner and much softer on that end too.
And we still get that collagen because we keep that bone in there.
It's the best part, right?
So we do the same. We put a little bit of this. We got both of the oils there.
You're gonna get a nice sear on those chops.
Yeah. Salt and pepper, obviously. So we want it in both sides.
So you sear first and then you stuff.
And then we stuff, yeah.
All right. Probably makes it easier to work with too, right? Because the meat firms up a little bit.
And when you're trying to cut into it, like we're gonna cut a little hole in it, a little pocket to stuff it.
Right.
When you're cutting it, it lets your knife go in easier, a lot easier.
I get it. I get it. It's still rare in the middle, so it's easy to slice in the middle, but it's giving you a little bit of support where it's very easy for the knife blade to come up or down and you cut through the chop.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah,
I'm taking
it
that
makes
one
it
away.
a lot better. You see, that's what we want.
Beautiful.
Plus, I mean, we get those little dots of maybe the parsley and everything that we had in here. So it makes it good and it joins everything together.
Right.
All right, so I think we're good in both sides.
Great.
So we'll just bring it over here. And then maybe you can help me with one.
Okay.
So we can make that little pocket in it.
And what do you want to go about halfway back or how deep are we going?
All the way to the bone.
Got it. Okay.
So we can actually get that little pocket there. So we can get a lot of the stuffing inside.
Yeah, right? All right. And I'm going to follow this through that way.
Yeah.
How's that?
That's perfect.
Great.
Perfect. And you see, gives it more of a structure so you can actually like cut it without any problems.
Right.
Obviously, it's still raw in the middle.
Yes.
So we're just going to stuff it. And you want everybody to see the stuffing. You don't want it like something hiding inside.
Sort of want it spilling out a little bit.
Yeah, because it's so beautiful, right? We're just going to put it inside the oven.
Okay.
At 350, and then that will finish over there.
Great. Here, let me pass this over to you. You can finish up this one.
Yeah, I can film
And
that.
then we will do just that. And, you know, this stuffing, I guess, is fairly versatile as well. I mean, we could, different types of bread, you could use different herbs in there, add a little thyme, rosemary.
Yeah, you can add any aromatic that you want in there. So big enough, so you have enough in each bite, and that's pretty much what.
Let's get those in the oven.
Yeah.
So put them back in that pan, and then I will transfer that over for you.
You can hear that sizzling still, right?
Is that handle hot or no?
A little bit.
I got it. You just turn it my way, and I'll grab it from you. There we go. All right, let's get that. And this oven now you've got is 350?
350.
All right. And how long are we talking about in terms of cook time?
At 350, I would say 10 to 12 minutes.
Great.
That's good enough.
Well, we still have squash to make as well as risotto.
Yeah.
So what do you say we get this cleaned up? We'll come back, we'll see what those look like, and make the rest of our food.
Perfect, sounds good.
Don't go away, we'll be right back.
Guess what? I have some news for you. There's free food right there, junk food. You see that truck? Oh, jeez. It's a 2 Michelin star chef. All for free, ladies and gentlemen. All for free.
Here we have a panzanella with summer vegetables and pesto. Enjoy. How we doing?
So what do you got going on underneath that plate there?
This food is really about to be thrown away.
Yeah.
Bro? Is there something wrong with this food? Where did you get it from?
From farmers markets. They put aside the ugly vegetables and the ugly fruits.
Carrot top, soft avocados. It was all food that was going to be discarded.
Even the drink you had is made from like a little bruised peach. Did it taste a little bruised?
Great. It was good.
The average person throws away 24 pounds of food a month.
That's a lot.
Isn't that a lot? Go visit savethefood.com for more information. Thank you. Junk food time!
Adoption day it's pretty exciting. You see all these kids with their smile on their faces that they're finally going to get a home.
My best friend's family were the ones that actually were there from the start because they knew my history, they knew my background, they knew my situation. I couldn't turn them away. It was too perfect. They were meant to be for me.
Adoption day was very crazy. It was very exciting. They were my parents, but it was kind of just like making it official.
I didn't cry. I just acted like it was natural. And she said, but you wanted to cry, didn't you? I said, yes, baby. On the inside, big tears. I was bawling. And she said, yeah, me too.
Welcome back to Community Cooking. I'm your host, Kirk Leins, and once again with me is Chef Oscar Gonzalez. And I think we got the pork chops. You think they're ready to go?
Yeah, they're
All right,
ready.
I'm going to take them out and then we will see. Because I hear you have foolproof method for checking doneness.
Yeah, well, you have to check doneness with your if you put your pinky against your thumb and then you touch here, that means well done.
Right.
So for this kind of things, you want them well done. So you just touch here, and if it's the same firm, then it's done.
Yep. Yeah, okay.
That's pretty much all you need.
Beautiful. All right. So we are done. I'm going to bring these to the back here and let them rest.
Yeah.
And we're going to move on to our acorn squash.
Yeah.
All right. So why don't you run us through the ingredients first?
So for the acorn squash, we have the sage, we have brown sugar, we're going to do salt and pepper, and our secret, it's going to be the amaretto.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Nice. All right. Where do we begin?
So first, you have to half it.
Okay.
And then take off all the seeds out.
Okay. So it kind of looks like almost like a cantaloupe on the inside there.
Yeah. But those seeds, if you roast them, are really good.
So you could almost roast these like pumpkin seeds?
Yeah.
Clean off the fibers and then...
Exactly the same.
All right. What's a squash? Yeah, it makes sense. Just like a very small pumpkin seed.
Yeah.
Do they have a similar flavor or?
They have a similar flavor, just a little bit sweeter.
Oh, okay.
Than the pumpkin ones.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
All right, let me get that out of your way.
So then you pretty much already have the cuts marked for you.
Ah.
And actually the
Nice.
squash makes that for you.
So the lines that sort of run down the side of the squash there are what you're using to sort of guide your knife.
Exactly. So that's kind of what you do. You just cut it like that. It can be a little hard, so just be careful when you're cutting it.
Don't put your fingers underneath the knife.
Yeah.
And got it.
And then what
Beautiful.
you're gonna do is just like place them in your pan like this. I'm just gonna show you right here what we're gonna do, but we already have one.
Okay.
In the oven cooking, because it takes around 35 to 40 minutes to cook.
Okay.
So what you want to do is just sprinkle your ingredients on top, like this.
Okay.
You go like this, and then you have your sage again, like we talked about. This
Simple.
gives it a lot of flavor and aroma. And actually, the flavor sometimes we confuse it because you can only smell it. You cannot taste it. But, I mean, you get confused a little bit.
Right. Okay, so you just basically, and I mean, you could almost even do this like in a bowl and sort of toss it all together too, right?
Of course you can. So you add this. You add your amaretto, which will make everything stick to it. And then
Gotcha.
you add a little bit of the olive oil that you have.
That sugar there's bringing out the natural sweetness of that squash.
That's it. But this squash is actually very neutral, so you can do whatever you want with it.
Okay, so we actually have some in the oven right now that we have finished up. I'll show you what that is looking like. Let's see here. Oh yeah, that looks beautiful.
So it was hard at the beginning, but then when you take it out, it's actually very, very soft. When you touch it, it's very, very soft.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it definitely has a lot of yield to it, a lot of give. Excellent. Should I rest this back here as well?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. Now, do you want to trade cutting boards with me? Would that work?
That will work perfect.
I was wondering how we were going to do that. All right, here you are. Perfect. Look at that buddy system.
Perfect.
Okay, so now we're on to the risotto, correct?
Yeah. So for the risotto, we're going to need, you can add some onion, but the actual one has garlic, has shallots, white wine, your arborio rice, which is a short grain one.
Correct.
With a lot of starch in it.
Right.
And that's what you want. And then you have your Parmesan.
So just for people who don't know, arborio is a type of rice, and we're at the point now where we can find arborio in any market.
Any market.
Just go to the rice section and look for arborio.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. So you cut it a little bit.
It's not the only rice that Italians will use for risotto, but it's probably the most common.
It is the most common here, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Carnaroli is a really nice rice, too. It's also that short grain, lots of starch.
Yeah.
And you need that starch because that's what helps make that luscious gravy.
And that's why you kind of hit one to another. When you're mixing it, that's why they tell you to keep mixing it all the time.
Always got to stir risotto.
Yeah, because then you hit one rice to the other. I have this already hot, so I'm just going to add a little butter in there.
Okay.
And then again, mix it with the oil.
Now tell us about this like convexly shaped pot you have here. What's going on there?
It's because you use it. When you use it, you get that.
That came from a professional kitchen, right?
That's
it's basically when the pot's super hot and a cold liquid hits it.
Yeah, that you actually use for several things. When you need to deglaze something, you need a hot liquid to go into a hot, so you can bring all the flavors that you already have in there.
Right. Right.
So now I'm gonna put a little bit of the garlic in there.
You know, and the other thing that I've noticed too is that you've really allowed like your oil to get hot before you put in your aromatics. So
it has to be hot.
Right. Oh, it smells great already.
So that you can actually have everything there. Then, one of the secrets is that you have to add the arborio rice there, and then mix it when it's hot with the oil and with everything in there.
Is that so that it coats all the grains with the fat, or?
What we're trying to do here is actually just to open the pores in the rice, so they can absorb quickly all of the liquids that we're putting in.
Ah, okay. So scientifically, that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
That's the thing about risotto, and it's nice that you're making this and explaining all this because risotto is one of those things that it is kind of an exact science.
Yeah.
I mean, what you're doing here is sort of the tried and true method for risotto. Now, that's your white wine, correct?
White wine, and we're deglazing it now.
All right.
So as you can see, we'll actually take all of the liquid really fast because we actually opened up all of the pores. It's like when you get a facial and you get all of that vapor.
Steam, right.
Yeah, that's kind of what you want. And it's pretty much the same. We're opening up all of the pores. So now that we have this mixed, the only thing that we need to add, can I have that?
This stock.
Yeah.
All right.
Your stock.
And
it's better if you do it again.
And how much are we looking here ratio-wise for like rice to stock?
It's always double.
Okay.
Always double.
Even with risotto. So if you're doing a cup of arborio rice, you need 2 cups of stock.
Yes, because here, that's not the actual creaminess of it. The creaminess comes from the starch. And since you're going to be hitting one against the other, that's going to thicken it really, really fast. And that's kind of what we want. We just keep it like this, cover it, mix it first a lot. Then, let's say for the first 5 minutes, mix it a lot so we can hit each other. And then after those 5 minutes, just cover it, leave it for maybe 30 minutes in low heat, and then take it off the...
So you're not adding like a ladle at a time and standing and stir. Okay, interesting.
You can, but it doesn't really make a difference when you're using the cheese at the end, like we're doing now.
Okay.
So we're giving you the professional way to do it.
Okay, now you have a pot that you've already started on back here because it takes, what, about 20 minutes or so?
Yeah, or maybe 30 sometimes.
Just depending on how much you're doing?
Yeah. So now we just heat this one that we had already going over there.
Okay.
And then at the end, we're going to just finish it with a little bit of more stock.
Great. Well, while you do that, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to taste all of this delicious food.
Sounds perfect.
All right, don't go away.
What to expect when you're expecting. A teenager.
Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to teen-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys, preferably somewhere they would never look. Did that go okay? You have to provide an outlet for their creative expression. So good. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
I'm ready for the...
Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Welcome back to Community Cooking. With me is Chef Oscar Gonzalez, and a beautiful plate of food.
Thank you.
I got to say, I'm really looking forward to getting into this. Now, you said that you wanted to do a little bit something to the risotto underneath before we dig in.
Yeah, if you can just put your pork chop to the side.
No problem.
I'll just add a little white truffle oil that I just love on top of the risotto.
To these little quenelles of risotto here.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to start with some of the stuffing and the chop because it looks really good. Yeah, that's cooked perfectly. All right. Oh, come on, you. There we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that sage comes right through.
Yeah.
And the stuffing is delicious. That's really good. Nice job, Chef. Nice.
Thank you.
All right, on to our risotto with the truffle oil.
Yeah.
You know what? That really is a nice pairing.
Yeah.
Between the Parmesan and then the pork and everything, it just sort of ties it all together.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
And last but not least, our beautiful squash.
And that's the squash that has the most dietary fiber. So when you're eating it, you're actually helping yourself to digest everything.
And the perfect foil.
Yeah.
Like you said, so the blank slate, the perfect foil for all this food.
Yeah.
Chef, I got to tell you, I mean, this is really an excellent meal. And like I said, it's something that I think that everybody can make because a lot of this stuff is just going to live at home. Even like the squash, you can buy, that's going to last for a while.
For a while.
Right. Risotto, that's going to be in your pantry.
Yeah.
Pork chops, pop them out of the freezer. Everything else you've got.
Yeah.
And look what you come up with.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being here.
Thank you. It
All
was
right.
great being here.
Just goes to show you, we really are cooking with some of the best chefs from right here in our own community. We'll see you next time on Community Cooking.
If you'd like a copy of the recipes seen on this show, send us a self-addressed stamped envelope to the Office of Cable and Community Relations. That's 3350 Civic Center Drive, Suite 200, in Torrance, California, 90503. Be sure to note the show number displayed on the screen. And don't forget, you can find all the fresh ingredients used on today's show at the Farmers Market. Visit the one here in Torrance at Wilson Park. That's located at 2200 Crenshaw Boulevard. They're open every Tuesday and Saturday from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m., rain or shine. And if you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us at communitycooking@torranceca.gov and check us out online at youtube.com/TorranceCityCable and like us on Facebook at Community Cooking TV.